Hello everyone, my name is Mikea Barrie. I am going to be demonstrating the core conditions that are part of the person-centered theory and approach. They include unconditional positive regard is one of them, empathy would be the second, and then the last is congruency. To give you a little bit of background or my case example, so my client is a 30-year-old male. He's coming in to see me to talk about anxiety that he's experiencing in his relationship. Also, he is getting to the idea of maybe having his girlfriend come in and talk about some of the issues that he's experiencing to kind of help in his relationship so that they can move forward onto the next steps that they want to do in their lives together. So that's kind of just a snippet of the theme that's going to be talked about. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know. I hope you enjoy. Thanks. Hi Cody, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm glad that you came here today. Before we get started though, I have to kind of go over some confidentiality things that are required of me to talk about before we start our session today. Is that alright if I do that?
Sure.
Okay, so confidentiality means basically anything that we say in this room isn't going to go anywhere. It's going to stay here. What's said between us is going to be between us, unless there is a time where you disclose to me that it's okay that I share it with someone else.
Okay.
All right, and then also as a social worker, I am a mandated reporter. So what that means is if there's any point in time that you talk about hurting yourself or hurting someone else, I have to report that. Also, if there's any time that you talk about neglect or abuse towards a child or towards the elderly, I also am mandated to report those instances.
Understood.
All right. You have any questions about that?
No.
Pretty clear?
No questions. Pretty clear.
All right. So we can go ahead and get started.
Great.
I'm guessing that there might be something going on in your life right now that's brought you here.
Well, yeah, definitely true. So, I've had a lot of anxiety throughout my life, and it's something I've kind of just dealt with by myself for a lot of years. But lately, I'm finding it creeping into my everyday life, my relationship, my workplace, and I think the biggest one that sticks out is how it's affecting my relationship. I have a girlfriend, I've been dating for 2 years, and I'd like to think we're about to get married soon. I've been trying to communicate my issues with my anxiety, and she doesn't seem to get it. I've sat her down and talked a couple times, and she's there, but she doesn't understand what it is. So it kind of makes me fearful of our future together, because it's a very big part of my life. Mm-hmm. And it's bringing, just a lot of heightened sense of anxiety into my life. Mm-hmm. And so I've decided I needed to reach out, and here I am.
All right. Okay, so what I'm hearing is that you've had this anxiety for quite some time, and it's starting to affect areas of your life that are important to you.
Yeah.
And especially with your girlfriends.
Definitely.
But I want to tell you how amazing I think it is that you're keeping that communication open with her. You're trying to, speak your concerns and share that with her, because anxiety's tough. Relationships are tough, and so the fact that you're open with your communication, I think, is a huge strength that you are bringing into this situation that you're going through.
Thanks. Communication, something I've always thought was very important in a relationship, and in all other areas, the girlfriend and I are very compatible. but I don't believe that we can continue until I can get her to recognize this thing I deal with. At least for now. I'm hopeful that eventually, hopefully someday I get this thing handled and over it. But if not, I hope that her and I together can deal with it and manage it. Or I just need her to recognize me, I think. And that's it. Like an example, the other day coming home from work, particularly hard day of work, anxiety. I felt like I was going to have an anxiety attack at work, but I got through. And come home, she's making dinner. And she didn't recognize, she didn't understand why I was being so distant. And then when I tried to bring it up, I felt like she didn't hear me all of the way. So it hurts a little bit when something that I believe so necessary to make a healthy relationship, one of my issues is basically putting a big block in the middle of it, which is communication, and it makes me fearful, I suppose, for the future.
Yeah, I mean, I can see how that would be fearful. I mean, and hurtful in that specific example that you gave.
Yeah. So at times, like, as happy as I am with our relationship, like at times I'm really just curious if it'd be better just to pull the plug while I can, and start over. Maybe with somebody who is a little more aware of what anxiety is, or people who deal with it. I believe that if you've never experienced it, then I don't think you could understand it. And I don't have the words necessarily to like get my point across. So as challenging as it would be to start over, like I don't have any children yet, but that is ultimately my goal. I'm 30 and the family thing is my next step. Kind of crossed all the other things off the list. I've got the job and everything and managed. And now my next chapter is just being heavily affected by this issue that I've never been able to fully get my head wrapped around.
Yeah, I mean, I can see how challenging this is. It's challenging.
Yeah, again, I appreciate that. So I've been thinking a lot lately about potentially bringing my girlfriend into an environment like this, some type of counseling environment. Have a third party to listen and maybe help guide my conversation. I think it would help ease some of these feelings. And that was the big reason, or one of the reasons that I came here today, was just to kind of get a sense about how I would do in the environment before asking somebody else to come get through this with me. I have this fear of how it could affect her and I's relationship. Again, pushing my things onto her. I've done a really good job for a lot of years of just keeping it in its little box, but now that I have to share it with somebody else, it's scary.
You know, and that's not uncommon. Those feelings are not uncommon. Talking about stuff that's hard to talk about is tough. So that's a common thing that I've seen in, in my personal experiences that people have gone through. So it's a common feeling.
Right. Well, I think I'd like to take the next step then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super proud, and I think that it's such a brave thing that you're doing. And I would love to be a part of that process with you and your girlfriend to take that next step, wherever that is going to be.
Great. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your time, and I will see you next time.